after media spreads anti-American Trump lie, North Korea proves Donald right. It appears that some outlets in the mainstream and independent media might have twisted a story or told a completely anti-American lie when it comes to what's going on with President Donald Trump and North Korea. When Donald Trump met with North Korea, he made great diplomatic process, but the fulfillment of promises made is up to Kim Jong-Un. I have seen numerous misreporting and outright lies from the media claiming that North Korea virtually did nothing after the meeting with President Trump. That's not true and they know it. Kim has not kept all of his promises, but he has done some things that improved the situation. We are far from done with North Korea and President Trump knows that. He hasn't backed down and won't if the NoKos don't keep their word on denuclearization. One step in this process proves that the media is lying on this to try and smear President Trump. Just 3 days ago, it was noted by satellite that North Korea has indeed begun to dismantle a missile engine testing site in compliance with a promise made by Kim to Trump at their recent summit. New satellite imagery from July 20 shows key facilities being dismantled at the Sohae satellite launching station, the country's primary missile launching site since 2012. At this site, you will find a rail-mounted processing building, which is used to assemble space launch vehicles before they are moved to the appropriate launch pad. Also being dismantled is a rocket engine test stand that has been used to build liquid fuel engines for ballistic missiles and space launch vehicles. Since these facilities are believed to have played an important role in the development of technologies for the North's intercontinental ballistic missile program, these efforts represent a significant confidence-building measure on the part of North Korea, media outlets reported. They added that the work probably began sometime within the past 2 weeks. President Trump announced after his summit with Kim that he had agreed to destroy a missile engine testing site and he is doing so. This is a baby step in diplomacy and a show of good faith by the North Koreans. It certainly does not mean they can be trusted, but it does prove Trump was right in his assessment of the North Korean leader. Kim has committed to the complete denuclearization of the Korean peninsula in exchange for security guarantees from the US. However, Kim Jong-un plays a dangerous game of geopolitics. North Korea is continuing to produce fissile material for nuclear bombs in spite of its pledge to denuclearize, U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said on Wednesday. He was asked at a Senate hearing about the issue and Pompeo responded to Senator Ed Markey, D., by saying, "Yes, that's correct, yes, they continue to produce fissile material. So, we have a long way to go and it could still go very wrong." Kim is still saying he will also return the remains of U.S. soldiers, possibly this week. This is something that President Trump has worked diligently to make happen and would be another step in the right direction here. This type of diplomacy takes great patience and is accomplished in small bites. The media would have you believe that Trump expected the North Koreans to denuclearize overnight. That's simply not true. Trump knows this will take a long time and that the process is fraught with danger. But getting closure on the fates of soldiers is something the families of our warriors deserve and I think it will happen. Friday would be an auspicious day to return the remains of American soldiers. The 1950–1953 Korean War ended in an armistice rather than a peace treaty, leaving the US-led United Nations forces technically still at war with North Korea. This Friday marks the 65th anniversary of the truce, which will be commemorated by the United Nations Command in a ceremony in the fortified demilitarized zone that has divided the two Koreas since the war. The war officially ending rests on the denuclearization of North Korea and their proving that they have done so. Trump is unlikely to declare an end to the war until he is satisfied that the Hermit Kingdom is nuke-free. It is one more step in the prolonged dance with the North Koreans with the objective of peace in mind. Kim has broadly committed to the denuclearization of the Korean peninsula if the United States and its allies drop their hostile policies, and the North has made clear it sees unofficial end to the state of war as crucial to lowering tensions. Trump has ended war games with South Korea for his part in this, but there is no way that a strategist like Trump will ever call an end to the war without proof of disarmament first. Dismantling a missile site is a good first step towards that, but it's just the beginning. North Korea says it has taken steps to halt its nuclear development, including placing a moratorium on missile and nuclear bomb testing, demolishing its only known nuclear test site and dismantling a rocket facility. But other than satellite footage, we only have their word on that, and that doesn't mean much. Pompeo and US officials are guardedly optimistic, as they should be, over all this. As we have stated before, we are committed to building a peace mechanism with the goal of replacing the armistice agreement when North Korea has denuclearized, a spokesperson said in an emailed statement. So far, North Korea is proving President Trump's statements and